I want to share something with you, which is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The legacy is that Andre DeShields is from Baltimore.
That's right.
That's true. I was not born in Baltimore. I was born in Dundalk. Yeah. I was born in Dundalk on January 12, 1946. And at the age of 4, the family moved to the big city. So what I am today is definitely Baltimore. 11 children. I'm lucky number 9. When I was old enough, is he too loud?
Yeah.
Okay, can we turn you down for a moment? Because I'm talking. Should we put it over there? Should we turn it? Oh, you did? Okay, great. 11 children, 6 boys, 5 girls. When I was old enough to have a adult conversation with my parents, my mother, Mary Elizabeth, born Gunter DeShields, volunteered that her life's dream was to be a chorus girl. That was her chosen word, chorus girl, not dancer. Similarly, when I spoke to my father, he said that he always wanted to be a singer, and he had a lovely tenor voice. Now, my parents were born around the turn of the 20th century. So their parents, my grandparents, were born closer to the Emancipation Proclamation. I put it in that context so that you can understand why my maternal grandparents said to my mother that no decent colored daughter of theirs was going to shuffle her way through life. They had just shuffled their way off the plantations and got emancipated. So that's the last thing they wanted their children to have to do. My paternal grandparents said something similar to that, questioning my father as to how he expected to make a secure living for his family with such an insecure career as a singer. They deferred their dreams, which could easily explain why there were 11 children. But the point I'm trying to make is this. We all know that we are the results of a Y chromosome and an X chromosome. One from the daddy, one from the mommy. I figure somewhere along the line, the deferred dream of my mother and the deferred dream of my father, at some conception during the run of 11, had to produce the child whose destiny would then be ruled by those deferred dreams. So I refer to myself as lucky number 9. I say lucky because when I dance, it isn't because I attended a school. It's because my mother wanted to dance, couldn't dance, so she passed the ability to me. And when I sing, it isn't because I studied with a teacher. It's because my father wanted to sing. And because he couldn't, he passed that talent to me. So I say to my colleagues in New York, when you see me dance, you're seeing my mother's feet. When you hear me sing, you're hearing my father's voice. When I won the Tony Award, I said very clearly, very loudly, that this is a karmic debt being paid in full. The 50 years that I've been a professional performer, each role that I have had to play, each success that I have had, has been an installment payment. Remember how we grew up in Baltimore? On the installment plan, you go down to the store downtown, you find something, you want to send your children to school, you can't really buy it all at once, so you put it on a layaway, and each month you go there and put a few dollars on it, that kind of thing. Well, I was achieving my success on the layaway plan. Every time I had an opportunity to create a new character, every time I had an opportunity to influence a choreographer's dance for me, each time I had an opportunity to say, yeah, I want to sing that song, but can we do it from this point of view? People ask me, so what do you sing? I say, the other American songbook. And they say, well, what's that? I say, R&B. Do you know what that means? They say, oh yeah, that's rhythm and blues. I say, no, it's rough and black. That's how I sing. That's how I dance. That is how I achieved a Tony Award. Now, I'm not being down and dirty when I say rough and black. What I'm saying is that I've taken all of the gifts of the African diaspora, and a lot of that was about struggle. A lot of that was about attempting to level playing fields. A lot of that was about taking our precious talent into a world called the Great White Way, which wasn't necessarily hospitable. Things have changed. Things continue to change. We have made inroads. We are making a difference. But it hasn't been easy, nor should it have been easy. And there are people here in the audience, like Chapman Roberts, like, where's David? Oh, he's right here. David Allen Bunn, who can attest to that. I said earlier when I was at City Hall that it wasn't just the keys to the city that I was coming to collect. It was finally giving proof, making testimony that you can go home again. And you have helped me prove that by receiving me with warm, open, loving arms. And that gives me the courage, the strength, the fortitude, the tenacity, the determination to go back into that world, which is more hospitable, but not completely, not totally hospitable. We still have to work twice as hard for half as much. We still have to never have a failure in order to be considered good. We still have to bring with us hundreds of years of people whose shoulders that we have stood on, and thousands of years of cultural excellence just to get a place in a line, just to get a number in a line. So these kinds of events are very important because, not because it's about me, but because it's about the legacy that each of us are invested in. It's about making the history for our young people to look at and say, I am proud of that, and it's my responsibility to do even better. In 1974, The Wiz started its pre-Broadway tryout. It played 3 cities. Detroit was number 2. Philadelphia was number 3. The first city it played was Baltimore, Maryland. From that day, when 70 members of my family came to the Morris Mechanic Theater to support me in The Wiz, I adopted this song as my anthem. My character sang it in the show when Dorothy and her 3 friends, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion, finally met the wizard, only to learn that he was a seller of snake oils. He was a charlatan. We still experience that in our lives, in our art. We have to burn through the illusions. When I'm faced with illusions that I have to burn through, I go back to this anthem. If you believe within your heart, you know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know you're right, because the time will come around when you say it's yours. Believe there's a reason to be. Believe you can make time stand still.